Naoki very much for pointing out that I have been trying to elevate or raise our partnership to a new height. Particularly this year, 2022, was to celebrate the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Japan and Bangladesh. So certainly that was what I was aiming for, how we can elevate our partnership to a new height. I don't know whether I was or have been successful or not, but Japan and Bangladesh, time-tested friends. We cherished the friendship so many years. Of course, this friendship dated back to Bongo Bondu days, when Bongo Bondu visited Japan October 1973. So he really laid a foundation of a strong bondage, very, important, significant partnership. So it was Bongo Bondu who chose Japan as a development partner. So it was Bongo Bondu who asked the Japanese side for the cooperation on Jomna Bridge. So that was the starting point. So since then we have been trying very hard to be one of the prominent or the largest development partner for Bangladesh. And Bangladesh people are so warm, friendly, and your fondness towards Japan and Japanese people are almost unbelievable. So these are the strengths for Japanese people. So these are advantages even for ambassador like me to do a good job here. So that was a very, very nice thing. I enjoyed being in Bangladesh. So I have been here for 3 years. It has been great fun to be ambassador of Japan to Bangladesh. So I have so many nice memories. So the places I visited, wherever I go, was really wonderful hospitality by local people, whether that's Kurna or Kumila or Sundarban or Cox's Bazar, Chattogram, Orishal or Nilphamari. Wherever you went, I really, really enjoyed the people's warmth, the hospitality, local culture, diversities. And as you may know that I enjoyed a bit of culture aspect of this country. So I had occasionally chance to even sing Rabindra Sangeet. So, but through those experiences, I have such a fond memory to Bangladesh. People talk about the growth of Bangladesh, development of Bangladesh, vibrancy of Dhaka, dynamism of Dhaka. Of course, these are things that driving you forward and driving our partnership forward. But underneath this, your culture, hospitality, warmth, and fondness, these are the things that I will continue to remember. The first I want to point out that since Bangladesh is growing big, the pace of Bangladesh economic development so fast, this will give our partnership even heavier weight. So we have been development partner for Bangladesh many years, but now development of Bangladesh is important not only for the sake of Bangladesh's development, but for the purpose of the stability, prosperity of the entire region, Bay of Bengal, Indo-Pacific. And if you look at this location of Bangladesh, its intersection between the subcontinent and East Asia, ASEAN countries, Japan, China, Korea. So very, very important strategic location. So we see some strategic implications, strategic significance when we do some development project such as Big B, Bay of Bengal Industrial Corridor growth belt, or this particularly Matabari Deep Sea Port project. So I think because Bangladesh's stature in the region is now being enhanced, I think impact of the development project, the cooperation project coming from Japan is having a new dimension, a heavier weight. I think that is why we are talking about elevating our partnership from comprehensive to strategic. So 2014, we started this comprehensive partnership between Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and the late Shinzo Abe, the then Prime Minister of Japan. But 8 years have passed since then. But how Bangladesh is looked at by the world in the region, the economic growth of Bangladesh that has been achieved over those 8 years, that changed the way Japan should engage with Bangladesh. That changed the purpose or the impact of economic cooperation projects between Japan and Bangladesh. And also we need to expand our cooperation into new areas. We are looking at the possibility of starting joint study on free trade agreement or economic partnership agreement. So this will pave the way for our business partnership to a new era, so post-LDC era, so to speak. Also, there's a possibility that we can initiate cooperation in security area, security dimension. So now I think strategic situation of the world in the region has been changing. So particularly after this Russian aggression over Ukraine, you might say that the world is now at the crossroad of history. So it's really important, even between Japan and Bangladesh, we talk more about security. We talk more about regional situation. So Japan is ready to collaborate more with Bangladesh in security area, including exchanging officials or even port calls by ships of self-defense forces and naval ships. And even we are talking about the possibility of exporting defense equipment from Japan to Bangladesh. So as we elevate our partnership into new territory, it's very important that we should widen our partnership. We should deepen our partnership. I think that both sides are ready for that. That's a very good question. So at the moment, we have been cooperating with the government of Bangladesh in doing those quality mega infrastructure projects, like we described, starting from Dhaka Metro, Arai Hajao Special Economic Zone, airport extension, leading up to Matabari Deep Sea Port project. That's the first deep sea port in this country. And we may do some other, say, road building, bridge building. We have done Meghna, Gumti, Kachpur, 3 bridge construction 3 years back. So important thing is we will do those important mega infrastructure to be carried out in a very timely manner, and we should ensure the quality of those projects. But Big B is not only the initiative or vision between Japan and Bangladesh, or not only those cooperation projects by Japan, but look at this Mirshorai Special Economic Zone, Bangabandhu Stirupinakau Economic Zone that is just north of Chattogram. So that's situated along this industrial corridor, Big B. Big B's idea is modeled from the Japan success of this Pan-Pacific industrial belt between Tokyo and Osaka, extending to Fukuoka area. That was the engine of high growth of Japan during the 60s, during 70s. So the idea was that Bangladesh will build similar industrial corridor from Dhaka, Chattogram to Cox's Bazar as the engine of growth of the country. So I think Bangladesh has been projecting enough resources. But critical thing is we should accelerate this year. We should concentrate our effort for building this big B corridor, industry, transportation, connectivity. I think that is something we should really look at in the coming years. Now economic situation is very difficult. So I think the Bangladesh will be required to choose quality project, viable projects which are really important for future development. But I'm sure that if you focus on big B construction, corridor construction, that will be very important for continued sustained growth for the future. But among the projects we do, Matabari Deep Sea Port will be a real game changer. That's going to be the transportation hub, that's going to be the energy hub, and hopefully that is going to be industrial hub as well. Then Matabari will be the center of industrialization of Bangladesh. That will have a region-wide impact because Matabari can connect with the countries in the region, South Asia, and some of those ports in Southeast Asia. So through Matabari, you can transport goods and others directly to those destinations of import and export. I think Matabari is going to have a very, very significant impact, not only economic impact, but strategic impact as well. So that is why Japan JICA is now considering to do master plan of Matabari development, MIDI development, probably starting from next year. Then I think we can locate what we should do, what we should focus more on MIDI development for the sake of further development in this country. There are already some companies which invested, like consumer-oriented companies like Ajinomoto or JTI. So those are good examples as a front runner in the industrial sector to have shown a great interest in the growing consumer market in this country. Interest is coming because of the size of the market. So 2013, Bangladesh is going to be the 9th largest consumer market. This is a great proof. It's attraction for any of the companies which are gearing towards consumer market. So hopefully some food companies or even cosmetics company or even say toothpaste companies, those companies will be looking at the possibility of making investment in Bangladesh as a realistic option. But I hope that this opening of Arai Hajao Special Economic Zone will be very instrumental in attracting those consumer-oriented industries from Japan. I know there are one or two consumer-oriented companies which have shown great interest in making investment into Arai Hajao Special Economic Zone. After Corona pandemic, or since the outbreak of Corona pandemic, the investors talked about the significance of making supply chain more resilient. So manufacturers talk about the importance that they shouldn't rely on a single country. So they are now trying to diversify supply chain. They are looking at other areas, new countries, new investment frontier to bolster supply chain. So Bangladesh is clearly one of those new frontiers of investment. Japanese companies are looking at Bangladesh as a possible destination of investment. So there are some options. Of course, the companies may choose ASEAN countries because they have been already bases. Or some countries are talking about reshoring to Japan. But there is a good possibility that Japanese companies are making supply chain widening and coming into Bangladesh. So important thing is the ease of doing business. I know your government has been trying very, very hard. In spite of a corona pandemic, we have seen good progress of some of the procedural issues related to, say, use of container, or even registration fee or motorbikes, or even regulation on disposing old unused machines or vehicles inside EPZ. No, in spite of difficulty, the government has made great effort. So some Japanese companies have seen even better business environment now. But you need to keep doing this. You need to continue to move forward to the regulatory reform. So including, say, taxation or remittance or customs clearance. Those are the challenges for companies. So it's very important to address and resolve those challenges and issues held by already existing companies which are already doing operations here in Bangladesh. Then there will be prospective investors following to make investment into this country. And at the same time, also you may need to, say, deal with some of the cultural issues like grafting culture or culture of time management. So as you grow, as you graduate from LDC status, it's very important that you need to address regulatory aspects, but at the same time, you need to be mindful of competition between countries in the region, not only inside the South Asian region, but also ASEAN region and beyond. So you may need to talk more about cultural aspects so that you can invite more foreign direct investment, because FDI is really key for the technological advancement and your diversification of your industry and having more export-oriented industries. I think you need to address those issues in more comprehensive manner, in perspective. I think those are the very important challenges. And also tax reform, how you can increase tax revenue vis-à-vis GDP. This is a very, very crucial issue and part of the structural reform agenda you have to address.